We all know that the girl child is not just a precious gem, but it's a cornerstone of our society. Her education, skills, and innovation is what we believe will drive the growth of this Nigeria's economy. And so, hence, the theme of this occasion. From marine conservation to sustainable fishing practices, our girls will be leaders and change makers of tomorrow. And that's why we're celebrating the girl child. Put your hands together for yourselves. Those hands are for me, so put together your hands together for yourselves. All right. At this time, I want to invite our president. She's a former board member, Nigerian Shippers Council, our president of Ocean Ambassadors. Please put your hands together for Honorable Olaitan Williams to come to give a welcome address. Keep clapping as she gets here. Keep clapping his hands.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Dream actualizers not talking. Where are our teachers? Because we don't call them teachers, we call them dream actualizers. Without them, these students will not be here today in shining colors. I celebrate all teachers. I celebrate you. Please clap for yourselves. To our parents, a very big thank you for making it possible for these children to come and know something new, something extraordinary. But you see, I always say something. Maritime is God ordained. Believe it or not. If you look at yourselves, everything you've put on, aside your physical God-given body, they were all imported. They came in through the waters. So, God himself ordained Noah's Ark as the foundation of maritime. For as long as there is water, people will always ship in goods, export goods, which means there are careers there. You cannot talk about maritime and you will not talk about shipping. You cannot talk about shipping now and you will not talk about logistics and supply chain. So today we're celebrating the future of Nigeria, because Nigeria is a maritime nation with untapped opportunities and they're everywhere. How do we now make it sustainable? How do we have a succession plan if we don't start from the tripod theory? Up there, you have the stakeholders. Of course, they're the policymakers. But when it trickles down to this baseline, those are the baseline. It is the dream actualizers that will impart to the students. That is why we call it Catch Them Young in the maritime sector. So with this brief analysis, I welcome everybody to this 5th nationwide virtual Marine and Blue Economy Quiz Competition Awards and the 6th lecture. And I will have to say something about the change. We had to change the dynamics. Last year, our panelists, one of them, Mrs. Charity Uba, she mentioned something. She said this is the first time she's hearing about blue economy. What is happening in the industry, in the maritime space, that we're not even talking about it. So how do we now make maritime sustainable if we do not go to the grassroots? So this year, it became a challenge. That is why today we have an erudite educationist in our midst, Mrs. Adiola Arofin. We welcome you. We want to hear from you, from the educator's perspective. What are your plans for the upcoming generation? Because 2030 blue economy that we've been advocating for the last 9 years. 2030 is around the corner. Are the educators prepared for the challenge, for the change? Because change is inevitable in life. But how do you now plug into it? How does the dream actualizers, the policy makers, because mind you, Maritime is not taught in schools. That is why it's a bit difficult. But I celebrate one more time all the schools that had started with us 9 years ago, and they're still with us today, because they saw the light, they saw the vision, and they skewed into it. Today, we have students studying marine insurance. One has even finished from School of Oceanography. We have a lady studying marine engineering also in Efuru. We have their pockets everywhere, but we celebrate all the schools that skewed into that vision early enough. We now have the Marine and Blue Economy Ministry in Abuja, which means we're getting there. But are the schools ready? Yes, the states are not ready yet. They're not ready. But when they are ready, I don't want them to have a void. I don't want them to know that, oh, the education sector, they're not even prepared to welcome the new change. We celebrate all the winners. This year, yes, we had challenge of sponsorship. So, as usual, we want to say a very big thank you to LTT, Marine and Coastal Services. They've always been supportive. In fact, we have a robust synergy with them. 2-3 years ago, they made a pledge here that once we have students that are willing to have sea time, and they kept their words. This year, we've had students that have observed sea time with them, and we say a very big thank you. A very big thank you goes to APM terminals. They've been wonderful. They're on their way. They took over the challenge of celebrating all students this year, especially the best 10. And I won't leak the secret for the first 3, but they're coming with a bang. On this note, I welcome everybody. Thank you.